Road to the Big Windmill. Welcome to our first world in Super Mario Sunshine, Bianco Hills. If we check this place on the map, this lush community of villas is located at the foot of Corona Mountain. Its famous windmills spin peacefully in the gentle sea breezes. This is how we are going to enter a few levels in Super Mario Sunshine, just by jumping in through painted M's on landmarks around Delfino Plaza. This sign, Rico Harbor, Pina Park. And indeed, if we look around here, we can see over there is Delfino Plaza. If we look down there, that is a place called Rico Harbor, according to that sign. And over there is Pina Park. And I'm not gonna lie, these places look kinda rough from a distance, but this is one of my favorite things about Super Mario Sunshine, is just the fact that you can see all the different levels and worlds in the game from each other. It's a really neat way of making the world feel more interconnected, and I think it just goes really well with the theme of this being sort of a tropical vacation destination. What's going on? Didn't you just come running through here with a big paintbrush? And now you've got that heavy device on your back. Strange. This guy will just say the same thing as the sunglasses guy in Isle Delfino, but this guy...
Oh, you're back again, are you? You seemed like you were in such a hurry last time I saw you.
Yeah, well... apparently everybody in the world of Mario, except for Mario, is colorblind. We can do a water slide down here, but this guy's at the end, so...
You want to try climbing on the ropes? It's easy. Never fear, just get up there and bounce around. You'll be fine.
As he says, you can jump on these ropes. If we get under this rope, jump, and miss it entirely because my depth perception is awful. Jump, jump, goose. There we go. Now we're all the way up here. Those enemies down there are the Goombas of Super Mario Sunshine. Step on them and they'll die. These are called swoopin' stews. You can also spray them and they'll go flying. Not swoopin' stews, strollin' stews, excuse me. There's a trail here that connects to the big windmill. The goop made it too dangerous, so the door's been closed. You might be able to get through with the water wheel up ahead. As she said, we could definitely get over this wall using the water wheel. We can also just wall jump over the wall, but where's the fun in that? If we spray these guys, they'll just get knocked over. If you keep spraying them, that's when they go flying. They're really causing an issue. They're messing me up. I don't usually fight these guys, so, like, I didn't even remember that these spawners existed until now. Just spray them enough and they'll explode. That guy got across the river. Oh my god. I could have saved him. I feel awful now. Like, I know these guys are, like, enemies, but I don't hate them. I like them. They're cute, and they have a cool, funny name. We could go around this entire village and talk to everyone, but there is a better time and place for that. So for now... well, not better place, but there is a better time. If you hover, then you will get pushed right through the water wheel, but we can just jump on top of it, and as the lady said, we can go over to get through this way. And, as you can see, they are in fact recycling this boss yet again. These enemies are called Piranha Plants. I don't know about the name, and these are Piranha Plants, returning from, you know, every other Mario game. Piranha Bombs, if you spray them, will start to reveal that they look an awful lot like Piranha Plants. I want to see if I can spray one entirely. It's very hard to, but, like, because eventually they just roll off into the river. I got pretty close that time. What if I... well, no, it's hard to follow them too, just because of, you know, all the goop. And the fact that they trail goop behind them. You can bring up several trees that have sunk into the goop by just hovering over it. There we go. That one I got mostly clean. You don't get anything for spraying Piranha Bombs completely. It's just so you can see what they look like underneath all the goop. And if we find a place that's, like, relatively safe, please. Up here, down here seems fine. We can see up there, there is a big Piranha Plant. And we don't actually need to fight this Proto Piranha. This is the only Shine Sprite in the game that, through normal means, is completely optional. There are multiple ways of fighting this Proto Piranha. We can fight him down here on ground level, where, you know, the Goombas are particularly annoying, making this probably the most difficult of the Proto Piranhas in the game. Which is what I'm gonna do, but you can see those platforms behind him. It's actually possible to jump on those and just fight him down there. Which is much easier because the Goombas can't possibly reach you because of the water surrounding the platforms. If you choose to fight him down here, it's just sort of damage control. Or, not damage control, but sort of space management. After defeating the Proto Piranha, this hill will rise up. Shine Sprite will appear. Occasionally a Goombas will survive, and it's possible to just spread goop over the area again. But after you defeat the Proto Piranha, all the goop in the level will disappear, except for, you know, any Goombas that are still alive. It's just not likely that there will be any, because they can continue to jump on Mario while he's invincible in the cutscene. But with all that done, I mean, let's grab our first non-required shine. And only non-required shine. Well, not non-required, but only optional shine in a level, at least. Only optional episode... Okay, look, I'm gonna stop being pedantic. Back on the topic of strolling stews, I think it's worth mentioning that they seem to be an enemy returning from Wario Land 3, of all things. There are enemies in Wario Land 3 called Kyuri that share a name with Strollin' Stew in Japan. The first Wario Land also has an enemy named Wanderin' Goom, who has a similar name, so yeah, it seems like a safe assumption that they were at least trying to make a reference. And we are back in Delfino Plaza. Shadow Mario seems to have gotten away, but that's fine. We can talk to people around here again, and there will be some new dialogue, now that things have changed. Everyone on this aisle loves the... Okay, well, apparently not for the Toads. At least not the red one. Mario, are you used to using that FLUDD thing now? You can also switch it to a hover device with the X... Why do you know that? You can spray them to get them to stop moving. I heard this was a sun-splashed aisle, but it sure is dark. Is it because they've lost their so-called shine sprites? What do you mean, so-called? I saw it with my own eyes. The man who took the princess was using a brush to draw graffiti. I saw it. Okay, why don't you testify for me, asshole? Mario? Welcome back. We're so glad you're safe, Mario. This vacation's just been a whirlwind of bizarre events, huh? And now the boat to the hotel isn't even running.
This island seems to be the victim of a bad turn of fate. Oh my, yes.
This is Toadsworth's introduction to the series, I believe. I think it's so funny that they just decided, yeah, we need a British Toad.
When are we going to have another scandalous incident? I'm so bored, nothing fun ever happens here.
Okay, so he's rooting for the graffiti to continue. That's awesome. Real patriotic.
It was weird being stuck in that goop. It was gross, but I gotta admit it was kind of sweet. Kind of like candy.
So it's like chocolate. That's cute.
Unforgivable. I have had it. Someone...
Okay, he's the same. It's weird knowing when to talk to people again, because, like, every NPC has dialogue that changes over the course of the game. It's just a matter of when.
This darkness makes me feel so gloomy and depressed. It's been this way ever since our shine sprites went away. This is your fault, and you don't even look apologetic.
It's true, I don't. Huh. Perhaps there is a reason. As you can see, you can just go insanely fast when you spray water in front of you.
It sure is dark. Is this daytime? I guess cities are just dark all the time, huh?
Where did you... What? What do you mean by that? Now, where's that big ol' shine? The guidebook says it's like the shining eye of Isle Delfino. Oh, oops.
Hey, are you slacking off? And clean up those walls, slacker.
So they say to clean off those walls. That is in reference to the various pieces of graffiti on the walls. I am going to be saving that for later because that gives you a reward other than a shine sprite that I want to save for later. I'll bring up more explicitly what it is once it actually shows up in game, but I don't know. I think I just want to be vague about it until, like, we've seen what I am trying to avoid. Down with Petey Piranha. Apparently there is a tyrant in Bianco Hills. That's the big guy we saw in the last of it. I almost said video, but mission, episode.
There was a pretty big tremor a moment ago, wasn't there? I wonder what's going on the other side of that hill.
You can see Petey Piranha from here, what do you mean? I wonder if all that slime is gone yet. Oh. What? I got rid of it all in the last one, what do you mean?
People who jump in this river go ploosh, and sometimes plish. I know because I've been standing here watching all day long.
As he said, we did in fact just go ploosh. Anyway, the gate is open now. Why? Isn't it still dangerous to go through there? Look at the goop. Now look at that! I wonder who broke the gate. I do not approve of that. Oh, it was broken, okay. Well, I guess it can be excused then. So this area is covered in goop once again, which means Piranha Plants can spawn again, and Goobbles can spawn again. Piranha Plants only spawn in the goop in this game because, as you can see, they're covered in goop, and they burst with water once you're done spraying them. The enemies down there are called Skeeters, although some sources for this game in particular call them Pond Skaters or Blue Spiders as well. I hate them because they're spiders, but they can be useful. If you jump on them, they give Mario an insane amount of height. Okay, there we go. I completely cleaned a Piranha Bon, and it still continues trailing goop after it's been cleaned, so don't know how that works, but don't bother trying to fully clean the path up the windmill, because you will not succeed. It's worth spraying in front of you, just to, you know, not be slipping all the way up the windmill, but this brings me to something I wanted to talk about. Mario 64 is the 3D Mario that came before this, and I am not a particularly big fan of that game. I think it does a lot right, and it's a very good first attempt at a 3D platformer, especially when it's, like, very much a pioneer of the genre. And even in some ways a pioneer of the collectathon genre as well, although I'd more attribute that to Banjo-Kazooie, and I'd even say this game is more of a collectathon, but I just think Mario 64 is not a game I particularly enjoy, and I think Mario Sunshine takes a lot of the concepts from 64 and does them better, including Bianco Hills. Bianco Hills is similar in so many ways to Bob-Omb Battlefield, just, you know, bigger and implementing more of Sunshine's mechanics. It even has a big spiraling large structure with a boss on top and giant things that just rain down from the sky and hit you occasionally, which would be the Piranha Bombs. It's just done a lot better, I feel, in a way that explains the mechanics in a better way and is less frustrating overall than Bob-Omb Battlefield, and I think that's part of the reason I appreciate it more. Wow. Tell me how you really feel, man. Okay, maybe don't tell me that much. Petey Piranha! He will spawn in this pile of goop where Goobbles can spawn. When you get too close to him, he will shake his head, which will send Mario flying. Depending on where his head touches Mario. I personally like getting rid of this goop at the earliest opportunity, just because the Goobbles can get annoying. Once he opens his big ol' mouth, you want to aim up with the Mario cam and spray in. When he falls over, you want to get on top of him and ground pound his belly. Yep. The way to solve this situation is by waterboarding the enemy. As long as you stay far away from PD Piranha and spray into his mouth as soon as he opens it, which he will turn away before opening it, there's pretty much nothing he can do to you. That seems to be a running theme with bosses in this game, where as long as you keep your distance, there's nothing they can do. At least PD has more ways of directly attacking, such as, you know, hitting you with his head when you get too close. But again, as long as you stay far away and, like, spray into his mouth before he shoots out any goop, yeah, there's nothing he can do. This is already the last hit. That noise he makes when you ground pound him the last time will always be sort of disturbing to me. And the fact that he turns into chocolate and then dissolves. Sort of implying that he was created by, Shadow Mario, I guess. Let's grab our third shine. Never save in a Let's Play. And would you look at that? Oil this time. I guess he decided having it taste like candy was a little too sweet. Let's head over there and solve this conundrum real quick, because that's unfortunate. There were maybe people in the boathouse. This one is a little harder to cheese. Goombas can still spawn, and it's possible to clean off the bridge, obviously, but as you can see, a little bit of the bridge will automatically regenerate. On top of that, this Proto-Piranha is a little bit trickier than the three we've already fought, because it takes 6 hits to defeat instead of 3. However, as long as you spray the area around the bridge pretty consistently, Goombas will sometimes just walk off into the water, which kills them instantly. So, yeah. On to the second phase, it's exactly the same. I will say, I sort of hate that this boss has shown up 4 times now, before we even have 4 shine sprites. But that's fine. It's an easy boss, it's just a simple way of changing Delfino Plaza in order to introduce new levels. This will take us to yet another new world, and you can probably tell what it is because we can see it in the background of this area. So, next time on Super Mario Sunshine, we're going to be heading back to Bianco Hills. Look, I've thought for a while about how best to manage exploring new worlds as they're unlocked, and in the end, I think unless there's some super serious plot reason to go somewhere else early, I'd rather just complete as much of each world as I can in order, so that's what I'm gonna do. Next time on Super Mario Sunshine, let's back into Bianco Hills. See you guys then.